Bayard Rustin, the man who planned a dream. The story. History remembers Martin Luther King Jr. standing at the podium, his voice echoing across Washington. But history almost erased the man who put him there. His name was Bayard Rustin. Bayard Rustin believed in justice so deeply that he was willing to be hated for it. He was a black man. He was openly gay in the 1940s and 50s. He was a pacifist who refused to fight in war. That combination made him dangerous, not to society, but to those in power. Rustin was arrested more than 20 times. He was beaten by police. He was jailed for refusing military service. And even inside the civil rights movement, leaders were told, keep him out of sight. He's a liability, the invisible architect. In 1963, America was on edge. The civil rights movement needed something massive, something the world couldn't ignore. That's when Rustin stepped in. He planned everything. Transportation for 250,000 people. Food, water, medical tents. Security and crowd control. Media strategy. Speaker order and timing. The March on Washington, the largest protest in U.S. history, ran with military precision. It was so peaceful, so organized, so powerful that it terrified the government. President Kennedy sent officials to watch Rustin closely, not because he might fail, but because he might succeed. Erased on purpose. When the cameras rolled, Rustin was pushed into the background. Politicians threatened to expose his sexuality. Movement leaders were pressured to distance themselves. So the man who built the stage stepped off it. Martin Luther King Jr. later said, "We couldn't have done it without Bayard." Yet for decades, textbooks barely mentioned his name. The quiet ending. Bayard Rustin lived long enough to see some progress, but not recognition. He died in 1987. No crowds, no statues, no holidays. Only years later did the world begin to admit the truth. Backhand index pointing right, the most important civil rights event in American history was planned by a man history tried to hide. In 2013, 26 years after his death, Rustin was finally awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Too late for applause, but not too late for truth. Why the story hits hard? He changed history without getting credit. He was erased because he didn't fit the image. He proves movements aren't built by speeches, but by people behind the scenes.